can't begin to tell you how many times I've tried to lose weight over the years. In fact, my journey with weight loss started, I think, from the time I came out the womb, because I was always the plump baby, always the chubby one. Even as a toddler, I look back at pictures of myself, and I was always really chubby, whereas other children my age were quite slim. And then as I got into my teenage years, I had that puppy fat. I couldn't lose that, didn't lose it. And then as I went into, my older teenage years, I still carried that weight, whilst my friends around me was losing that, was nice and slim around the age of 14, 15, 16. I was always the heavy set one. And then I hit 18. And then I started on a journey to lose weight, because I was just so tired of always being the fat one, the unattractive one, the heavy one, the one who couldn't find nice clothes to fit, the one who always felt uncomfortable, the one who was always hiding behind others in photographs because I wasn't happy with my size. So I started on a journey to lose weight, and I was looking for that magic pill, that magic diet, the one that would give me fantastic results in no time. And I look back now and I just think I was really taken in, because so many things, all those teenage girls magazines, all the women magazines, all the books, all the weight loss programs, all the slimming clubs, all the whole weight loss and fitness industry was promising easy, quick weight loss. And I fell for it. I absolutely fell for it. So I did the lot. I did Atkins, Cambridge, which is now the one-to-one diet, in and out of Slimming World, in and out of Weight Watchers numerous times. I did low carb, low fat, Rosemary Connolly, you name it, I did it. I was counting calories. I was trying to stick to 1,000 calories a day. And the thing is, guys, I lost weight on all of those programs. I'm not going to deny it. I lost weight, but the weight went back on. It went back on because it just wasn't sustainable. It wasn't sustainable because I was restricting, and I got really disappointed and was just moving from program to plan to club to system, back again, all over. I was like a lost sheep, just wandering around looking for this quick fit. And several times people said to me, forget all of that, just eat 2 or 3 sensible meals a day and reduce your snacking. And it was a common sense approach, guys, but it just seemed too easy. I was like, it's too easy. I'm not going to lose weight doing that, because the diet and weight loss industry was telling me, don't do that. What you need to do is buy our plan, buy our program, join our club, buy the books, buy the scales, buy the crisps and the chocolates, buy the ready meals. You need to do all of that in order to lose weight. I look back now and I just think, they saw me coming. They saw us coming. But yet, the common sense approach just seemed too simple. And the diet industry was capitalising on that and saying, yeah, it's too simple. You need this. This is what you're going to need to lose weight. And I bought into it. And what I've realised nearly 7 years ago well, actually less than that. What I realised, it was more like 5 years ago, was that actually common sense does work. The common sense approach really truly does work. And on the principle of a calorie deficit, okay, and once I started to understand that, is that I just need to reduce my calories just by a tiny little amount each day. And I'm not one for tracking calories or anything like that, so I started looking at what I was eating, and if I was eating 4 biscuits a day, I would just reduce it to 3. Instead of 3 bags of crisps, I would just reduce it to 2. Instead of having 3 eggs for breakfast, I would just reduce it to 2. Instead of having my toast, 2 slices of toast, I'd have 1. And instead of having a great big scoop of butter on that, I would just have a tiny little scrape. And I learned that if I just manage my portions, that way I could very easily reduce my calories and go into a calorie deficit without having to track it on an app, without following a program, without a system. It was a common sense approach. So that's what I did. I started having 3 meals. Now I'm down to about 2 meals, but I did start off having 3 meals, but just reducing the portion of that meal just a tiny little bit, just a tiny little fraction. And each time over weeks it would reduce. So I went from 3 eggs, and then I went to 2 eggs for several weeks, and then now I'm down to 1 egg. Instead of 3 slices of toast, which I used to have, I'm down, after just taking that step change from 2, I'm now down to 1. And if you've seen any of my videos, even with like a bread roll, instead of having the whole bread roll, I will just have half a bread roll. And I've done that gradually over time, and I'm not deprived. I don't feel hungry. I don't feel like I'm missing out, because I'm managing my portions. I'm eating really mindfully, really steadily, really slowly, tasting my food, really enjoying it. And that is absolutely working for me. Now, I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm not a doctor or a scientist. I'm not a nurse. I'm not anything like that. I'm just sharing with you what has worked for me, so that I could free myself from the weight loss industry and investing hundreds and thousands of pounds over the years on apps, on systems, on freeing up my mind space without having to constantly be worried and concerned about tracking every little morsel that goes into my mouth. I have the foods that I want, the foods that I enjoy, the foods that I know is going to nourish my body, but I eat them in small portions. I just manage my portions, eat it really slowly. But it has been a step change. I didn't go from eating 3 eggs to 1 egg overnight. It's taken weeks and months. So I started looking at that approach, just a real common sense approach, just 2 or 3 meals, filling it out with protein, some chicken or some fish, some fibre, and some vegetables, and maybe some fruit afterwards. So 2 or 3 meals, reduced the amount of snacks that I have. I still have snacks. I will still have biscuits, but maybe 1 or 2, not half the packet like I used to. I will still have crisps, again 1 packet every couple of days, not a bag of 6 in a day. I will still have chocolates and sweets, but a whole bag of sweets will last me the best part of a week, if not longer, rather than polishing it off in a day. So real common sense. The same way that we instill common sense with our children, you know, and our grandchildren. You know, we encourage them to eat healthy meals, but not overeat, and just make sure it's well balanced. I started putting that in place for me. And then the industry was saying, you know, you've got to get down the gym, you've got to work out, you've got to do all of this. And that's great if you can and if you're able. But when you live with health challenges, that's not always possible. But when I can, walking is great for me. And yeah, if I can lift some weights, I need to lift some light weights as part of my physiotherapy for my arm, I will do that. But I don't feel the need to get in the gym and start lifting heavy weights or anything like that. Just walking is now, but lifting weights will tone and shape you, and that's great. But for weight loss, walking, I personally found that walking is great. And what I've noticed is when I am able to get out and walk, I feel so much better. My mind is clearer, I sleep better, my stress levels are reduced, I feel so much more relaxed, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the walk. That then helps me to come back home and make good food choices. But also over time, what I've noticed is that it really is started to shape my waist as well. So it's toning my waist, my legs, my lower body. So yeah, you know, the diet and weight loss industry will tell us a lot of things. It really will. But what I have personally found to losing weight is a common sense approach. And when I stopped listening to the weight loss industry, when I ditched those apps and those, you know, to track my food and track my activity, when I ditched all of that and I stopped doing all of that and I turned to a common sense approach, I lost weight. My weight stopped fluctuating and I consistently started to lose weight. And I was, so I started my weight loss journey with Weight Watchers 7 years ago in January coming. I was fluctuating up and down for the best part of 2 years roughly, and when I stopped that for the rest of the time, which is the best part of 5 years, I just started taking that common sense approach, looking at what my parents and my ancestors did. They ate sensible portions, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, protein, and they walked. And they were slim, very, very slim. My grandmother and my great aunt, very slim people. And yeah, so I've started doing that. When I started doing that, freed myself mentally, emotionally, reduced the stress, and the weight started to come off. And in total, I've now lost 12 stone 7 pounds, and 9 of those, so the last 3 stones I've lost using Mounjaro because I'm a type 2 diabetic and I needed that to help me get my diabetes in control. But prior to that, when I took a sensible, common sense approach, I lost 9 stone. 9 stone. So guys, you know, we're all different, we're all on different journeys, and you know, you will find what works for you, but I'm sharing what works for me. And one of the things that in terms of protein that has really helped me is this. This is an egg, and this is one of the key things that has helped me on my journey. And I know when I was at Weight Watchers, there was, you know, lots of jokes and laughs about the chicken and egg diet, but let me tell you, the chicken and egg diet absolutely works for me. I've got eggs that I eat a lot of, and right here I've got a chicken fillet that I'm defrosting, that I'm going to cook and have for dinner tonight. So chicken and eggs are the two things that's really supported me, and I've built lots and lots and lots and lots of meals around that protein, because we know that protein helps to control those hunger hormones, helps us to keep fuller for longer, gives our body the amino acids that it needs, and it's got so much, you know, that can really support weight loss. So guys, there you go. That is my journey to date. I'm coming up to 7 years. 7 years. It'll be 7 years in January that I've been on my weight loss journey, and I've learned a huge amount. If you've learned anything today off this video, if I've inspired you, if I've helped you in any way, please feel free to give this button a thumbs up, give it a like. If you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button and click the notification bell. Drop a comment below as well and let me know how you're doing on your wellness journey. But also guys, we've got a new feature. My bowl just tippled over. I think my bowl's excited. We've got a new feature, and that's the hype. So give this video a hype it up guys. That's your way of interacting with me and the community, by clicking the hype button, and it'll let other people know that they've enjoyed this video and they too can hype it up. Guys, I will see you tomorrow. Take care now. Bye.